I think it's recording. Hello, I'm Mark. Most of you guys know me, X Detroit Metal X. It's the first unboxing video. I'm unboxing the newly released TorqHead system. What that does is makes the LT1 24X compatible. So basically, you get rid of the OptiSpark that everyone dislikes, and you're replacing it with coils per cylinder in addition to the LS1 PCM, which is compatible with HP tuners that everyone also loves. You might be asking, why do I have this? Because I already have the EFI Connection system. I want to make sure I have a disclaimer that this is not going to be a bashing post. No, hate comments are coming from me. It's just my personal experience and, kind of what happened with my kit. I bought the first 24X system from EFI Connection a couple years ago. I put it in my car and I had great success with it for a couple seasons. Brought my car to 11.4 flat at 120 point whatever miles an hour. Worked out really great. Drivability was great. I was still tuning it with tuner cats. My buddy was, and it was fine. Unfortunately, I made a really dumb mistake, and I bought an ATI dampener used. When I received it, I saw there was blemishes. The previous owner must have installed it hammer style, and right there, that should have been enough for me to return it. Unfortunately, it was a good deal. The person was reputable, so I ran it. Another dumb mistake on my part, which I'm not afraid to admit, I make mistakes like anyone else. We're human. Was I didn't put a Woodruff key in the crank with it. I just figured it was like the OEM version, just a press-on. It wasn't. I later found out it might have been bored out for an aftermarket crank, just like a thou. And the hub was spinning on the crank and was bashing into the reluctor wheel. I actually have it here. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see it's kind of mushroomed. The slot isn't very slotty anymore. So you can get my face out of the way. There we go. This is a dual row reluctor wheel. Again, if you can see it, there's two rows here. One row is for the on, and the other row is for the off. You can see they're evenly spaced, on, off, on, off. And this is a sensor that's ran with it. It's from a 7-liter Vortec engine. This thing's $100. I got it from O'Reilly's. They were the only shop that had it in stock. It was $100, and I don't even know who makes it. It says it's made in Mexico, which most of the stuff is. So what this is a dual terminal sensor. So there's two terminals in here. One reads on, one reads off. So you put it on like so. One terminal reads on, one terminal reads off. Good thing about that is it knows exactly where it is. It knows exactly where the off is, it knows exactly where the on is. So it worked really well. I spin my engine up to 7,000 RPMs. I never had any trouble with it, of course, until I broke it. And then that's when I ordered a new reluctor wheel from EFI Connection. I didn't know this, but as you can see, this is the new wheel and design. It's a single row. There's only one row, and that's on. That's it. And this is the sensor with it. Normally AC Delco ones are black. I got this one from EFI Connection for $52, I believe. I think this is a Delphi unit, so probably just as good. So it can really go on anywhere, but it just reads the on signal. So I powder coated my timing cover, and when I tried to first fire it, I noticed it wasn't reading RPM, so I actually sanded the powder coat off, so it was a bare surface. And then the sensor read. I could fire the car up, the car ran great, but I was just kind of draining the fuel out and wanting to change the oil on it. So I spoke with the EFI Connection about that, and we figured it out, and I thought everything was fine. So what the problem was when I put a heavy load on the engine, let's say 75% throttle position, or wide open throttle, uh, around 5,500 RPMs, the car would break up. It sounded like it was two-stepping. It wouldn't really go much farther. At first, it seemed like it did recover in the RPMs and it could complete the shift. It was really bad at second gear. Then, a buddy helped me tune it a little bit, see if we could find something data logging it. And what we found was the crank position sensor was reading RPMs fine until that 5,200 mark, and then we would see like a 2,000 to 3,000 RPM drop. So the PCM thought it would just go to 3,000 RPMs randomly, and it would cause like a terrible misfire. It wasn't drivable. It wouldn't like flash a misfire code because it didn't think it was missing, I guess. And no knock, no nothing. So I didn't blame it right away. First I thought, okay, maybe it was my fuel pressure. So I tested that. I bought an interior gauge so I could actually see it inside the cockpit. I recorded injector duty cycle. Everything checked out. So then I thought maybe it was something ignition related, coils, wire, something like that. I replaced the spark plugs, ohmed out the wires, and there was like switched around coils, but that didn't change anything. It wasn't the drivability that was the problem; it was just the wide open throttle. So that's when I data logged the crank position sensor signal and the RPMs, and that's where I found that problem. So I talked to EFI Connection about it for probably 2 weeks, and he had some really good ideas. He was extremely helpful, really nice, and I did everything he's wanted me to check. Everything checked out fine. I'm not going to go too much detail in it because this is already going to be too much longer than I really want it to be. So I emailed TorqHead, and we were talking quite a bit about it, and he tested the same single row reluctor wheel with the same, we're calling it the black vortex sensor, and he would see the same results, where the car would just break up at high RPM, and he couldn't figure it out, and when he switched back to, again, that dual reluctor wheel with the on-off sensor, the problem went away. So, do I really know that this is going to solve my problem? No, I don't. Is the EFI Connection kit bad? No, I don't think so. There's just something in my setup that is throwing it off. And I don't even know if it's the EFI Connection kit. The reason why I'm doing this is because I have a really big event I want to attend on August 19th. Drag racing legally on Woodward Avenue. Awesome event. It's in front of the newly built M1 concourse. I really want to be a part of this. There's going to be thousands of people there watching my car go down the track. I really want my car to perform well. It's going to be awesome, so I'm really hoping that this TorqHead system saves me and fixes my problem. So anyway, we're going to open it. We're going to see what's in here. I'm really excited. I got it shipped to work, and it's been sitting on my desk for like 4 hours. So yeah, let me get in position. We're going to do this. So here's the box it comes in. Imported straight from the mythical place Canada. Here it's pretty nice there. Yeah, it made it. It's now an American citizen legally, so we don't have to import it back. I have some keys with a knife on it. This is the packing slip. I kind of want this. Alright. It has nice TorqHead logo tape. That's why I didn't open it at work, because I knew that people would know that I opened it. I know what's really in here, and I do not know what's in here right now. Could be like just a box of bricks, for all I know. Ah, yes, paper. Very good. Oh, more boxes. What do we have here? Oh, geez. We have some shims. More shims. A strip of yellow. A Woodruff key. That's... Oh, I can't even see it. Woodruff key. You're going to want this for the ATI balancer kit. I just explained why. Because you'll probably spin it and be really sad. I believe this is the guide. So you can center up that dual sensor with the reluctor wheel. It's like Christmas. Oh, water pump gaskets. I actually just bought some. Whoops. So yes, you get water pump gaskets. He also included a plug for me. Since I have the black vortex sensor, I'm going to need another plug, so this is what that's for. That might not come in your kit unless you request it. I'm just going to throw this back in, because after this video I'm going outside and I'm going to install this. Which I might also start a video for that too, for everyone. Just so they can kind of see overall what needs to be done. Which it does not look like it's going to be that difficult. Alright. Open this up too. This is the hub. This is a shim. Since I don't have the reluctor for the LT1, nor am I going to have it for the 24X, because obviously I just showed it to you. I'm going to need this to make sure that the hub's spaced out properly. And here is the balancer with the reluctor wheel implemented within it. Kind of show the machine for everyone. Looks very nice. I just sold my ATI hub that I just bought recently, so this looks almost identical, except obviously it has this new reluctor wheel on it. Cool. I will put this in here. Alright. This is what it's all about, is this piece right here. Without this, you don't have anything. And this is what is going to replace the OptiSpark, if you have one. I don't have one anymore. So it looks like this is an Opti base. And then this basically new cap is what's replacing all that. So that's your crank sensor. It's all internal. And what's neat about it is it looks like TorqHead designed out some of the issues that EFI Connection was having with their system, which was different timing cover tolerances, different timing chain tolerances. A lot of people would have to machine their components to be within spec to have the crank and cam sensors reading properly. What's cool about this is each one is static. It can't change because it's in there. That's what he builds it for. The crank sensor, this is adjustable. So you can actually center this up with the reluctor wheel, so you can have whatever timing chain that you're running with. And I mean, this is a lot of movement. This is more than what I was expecting. And obviously you tighten the bolts down and you're good to go. Which there's a bolt down here. Seem to have fallen out. There's little lock washers. See, that's the same gold sensor I just showed you. Might not be the same exact thing, obviously, because I bought mine from O'Reilly's. Yeah. Looks straightforward enough. My engine's torn apart more than you guys are going to have to do. You're just going to have to remove the water pump and the hub. Mine, the timing cover, all that stuff's removed to get the 24X out of there. So, I got a little bit more work ahead of me. But at least you guys can see, you know, kind of as far as you would need to take it is kind of where I'm at. So, anyway, see what else we have. I got some stickers. Very nice. And we can get instructions here. And this is just how to install it. Maybe I'll read over this just to make sure I know what the hell I'm doing. But overall it seems straightforward. Just seems like, you know, an opto replacement with one extra step, which is the hub. Which is not a big deal for most people, especially if you're looking to do something like this. And you've probably already done it a few times. Yeah, that is the base TorqHead 24X kit for $96.97 F-body with the ATI hub. That's also my story with the EFI Connection and why I'm going to this kit. So, let you guys go. I'm going to install this thing and then fire it up and hope that it fixes my problem. Wish me luck.